In this game, winners win, and I only back winners. Trainer Kenny McPeak is a proven winner, and his horses are in my portfolio. And now they can be in yours too. McPeak's champion horses and Derby hopefuls are now featured on Morning Line. With Morning Line, I don't just watch the race. I own the moment. I invest in champions. This is my edge. Buy, sell, trade, anytime. Morning Line. Own the game.
Hi everyone, David Aragona and Mike Beer here taking a look at one of the stakes races on Saturday at Tampa Bay Downs. Race 5 is the Suncoast Stakes. Some Kentucky Oaks points on the line for these 3-year-old fillies trying to get to that target in early May. And Mike, we've got a field of 8 that were entered for this race. We're going to talk about them in just a little bit, but first want to let you know this video is sponsored by Morning Line. Morning Line is a private SEC regulated marketplace where approved participants can trade licensed interest in racing's biggest stars like Torpedo Anna and Kentucky Derby hopeful Blackout Time. You can be part of championship bloodlines. Just visit morningline.io. Buy, sell, trade, own the game. Well, like I said, Mike, there were 8 runners entered in this Suncoast, though I don't think there are exactly 8 contenders in this race. You can see from the Morning Line, there's going to be a heavy favorite, the number 3 Zany, and a lot of filler in this race around that horse. It's going to take the bulk of support.
Yeah, no doubt about it. There are a few horses in here that are really hard to get behind, and there are some very big prices on the Morning Line. Zany, she's not the only stakes winner in the field, David, but man, has she been impressive the 2 times we've seen her.
Yeah, it does kind of shape up as a match race between the 2 horses that are shown as single digits on the line. The number 5, Life of Joy, she is clearly the other horse in this race, the other stakes winner in this race, as Mike was saying, but does not quite have the speed figure power that Zany brings in, and that's why she is such a heavy favorite on the line. Let's take a look at the Timeform US pace projector for this Suncoast. And Mike, we know Zany has plenty of tactical speed, but she showed in the Demoiselle last time that she's fine just sitting off another rival. And I kind of wonder how Todd Pletcher's going to play it, because the other horse that is shown in front of her in this pace projector, the number 4 Kadabra, she's going out for the same connections.
Yeah, you don't think they're going to hook up these 2 horses, so we'll see if the plan is to let the 4 make the lead in here and then sort of maybe get to her outside and stalk the pace. Either way, it feels like whatever Irad wants to do with Zany will probably be the right decision. If he wants to make the lead, he can make it.
Well, Mike, I think we can skip through a lot of this field pretty quickly. Let's begin with the number 1 at Tremont Tammy. And this one is topped out at a 57 buyer. I think the best thing you could say is that top number was earned in a 2-turn race at Prairie Meadows going back to her 2-year-old season. But even off that performance, Mike, it's hard to make her a contender here.
Yeah, the only 2-turn race was against the Colts, too. It's not like she ran great that day. She's just really hard to make a case for here. She'll be a big price.
The number 2, y'all ready for this? She'll be trying the dirt for the first time in the 6th start of her career. Like, I remember watching her debut race when I was handicapping the Matron when she came to New York to run in that race. She went off at a big price that day, but I thought her debut at Colonial was actually okay, but that was sprinting on the turf. There's nothing really that says she's supposed to be better on the dirt, and she just hasn't gone on developing since then.
Yeah, that's the real issue. You're right. I thought her debut was fine. Since then, she just really hasn't run a race that suggests she's going to be competitive here. Maybe the surface switch will make a difference, but it better.
The big favorite is going to be the number 3, Zany, and her reputation so far is built on a couple of blowout scores, one of which was this Demoiselle victory that we'll take a look at. Last time out, this was early December at Aqueduct, and Mike, you probably remember, she ran faster than the males on this day in the Rebsen, got a bigger speed figure than that race, and while she wasn't facing as tough a field as the boys did in the Remsen, because the other rivals that were lined up against her here were clearly overmatched, you had to like the way that she did it. You saw she shifted in a little bit in upper stretch there, but this part of the race, Mike, where she just kind of levels off and runs away seemingly with ease, it just gives you a lot of confidence that she's a filly that still has some untapped potential and doesn't even need to run that well to beat this field.
Does not. She's been really good. Was also really, really good first time out sprinting, showing a lot of speed that day. And she was, you mentioned they're shifting in there in the Demoiselle, David. I mean, she was more green in her debut despite winning. And she cleaned that up a little bit last time. She goes forward again here. This field they probably just can't beat her. She's been really good both times.
I don't know if you noticed this, Mike, when you pulled the PPs, but she's got that Triple Crown nominee emblem next to her name. So I wonder if they're thinking that maybe down the line she could face the boys. When you see her run, she's got the body type that suggests she should be able to hang with the Colts. We'll see if she takes a speed figure step forward to justify that in the future. The number 4, Kadabra, she is the other Todd Pletcher runner in this race, Mike. She got a really early start during her 2-year-old season, won her maiden race going all the way back to May, and the second start of her career after debuting at Keeneland. She was off for a long time, came back into sprint last time at Gulfstream, showed speed and faded. I just don't know if I have a whole lot of confidence that she's going to get better with added ground.
Yeah, I don't either. And I know it was, off a layoff last time. You don't have to be too hard on her for it. I didn't think she ran that well, David, and I just don't like that race overall that much. I just don't think that was a super strong allowance race. Her first 2 starts were fine. She really earned, I thought, that maiden win in her second career start. She took pressure on the lead the entire way. But man, she's just got to improve so much against the 2 favorites in here.
Mike, I want to get your take on the number 5, Life of Joy, and whether or not you think she's a valid rival for Zany, because she was visually impressive in that debut race going back to Horseshoe Indy. I know she wasn't beating much, but boy, did she run away impressively. And she came back. It was a workmanlike win in the rags to riches after that. I want to know what you make of the Goldenrod, because she was obviously the beaten favorite that day. I actually thought that was a decent field of 2-year-old fillies, but she got pace to close into, and I don't know, I didn't love the way she kind of flattened out in the stretch.
Yeah, I have the same issues with her. I mean, she was her debut was a serious performance, blowing out a weak field. Her I know that she won the Rags to Riches, David. She ran fine in that race. It's not a race that I'm really much of a fan of. I don't think it was a super strong race. She got a great trip in there. It really kind of felt like it was only her and the runner up in there, and nobody else really did anything. I'm with you on the Goldenrod, man. They were moving early in that race, and she was outrun early, but it just felt like, she made a big move on the turn, and it felt like she had a real shot at that race in the stretch. And I just didn't think that she ran that well. She's obviously a contender here, and she's the main rival for the big favorite in here. But I'll tell you what, if I was going to try to beat one of these horses, it wouldn't be Zany. It'd be this horse.
Yeah, I noticed in that Rags to Riches, she was kind of leaning on the foe that she was trying to pass in the stretch. She was again lugging in the stretch of the Goldenrod, which is one of the reasons why she lost momentum. Maybe that's why blinkers are going on, because they want her to keep a straight course here. The number 6, Just a Moment, Please, coming off a win in a $16,000 maiden claimer with a 47 buyer. Those are not credentials to make you a stakes winner, Mike.
It's hard to imagine what the plan was here for them entering in this race. We'll see.
The number 7, Fly Life. I mean, she's competed in some higher level races coming out of a series of first level allowance optional claimers, but she's topped out at a 49 buyer, Mike, and that was going all the way back to her debut in September.
Yeah, pretty easy to just, sort of look at her running lines, match them up, even if you just don't even go beyond the 2 favorites in here and say, yeah, she can't win this race.
And then rounding out the field on the outside is the number 8, Lightscape. I will say her debut was okay. I mean, she didn't get off that well. She had to make a move through the pack to run that field down to the late stages. That looked like the kind of performance she might be able to build on. Unfortunately, she didn't really build on it next time out when she tried Stakes Company in the Gasparilla. She again got away slowly, wasn't really competitive in that race. Maybe she gets better with more ground, Mike, but I think the jury's still out on how good she really is.
That's very, very fair. I'm with you. She does have a little bit of pedigree if you go back a couple of generations there to stretch out. So we'll see if it really works for her. I'm with you. I thought her debut was actually a really nice performance. And to be honest, I thought she'd run way better in the Gasparilla last time than she did. But I could still hold out some hope that she's going to turn out to be pretty good, and she'll be a fair price in here.
Well, let's go to our picks for this Suncoast, Mike. I don't think we have to advocate too hard for betting the horse that we each have on top, the number 3, Zany. She is probably going to be an unbettable price in this race, so short. But I'm curious more what you make of her in the grand scheme of things moving down the road to the Kentucky Oaks, Mike. It's early, but I mean, she seems like one of the more talented fillies that has been on the track so far.
There's no doubt about it. And as you point out, she's got the right, look to her, the right size. She's a big, good-looking filly, and it just seems like more distance is no problem for her. I guess the only thing that you would wonder about, David, is how far ahead of this crop was she as a 2-year-old, because it's a big, good-looking thing, and maybe they've caught up to her, or maybe they will catch up to her in time. But right now, I have very high hopes for her. If I was going to bet, I'm probably not betting this race. Certainly not betting against Zany. If I did have money involved, it would be because I'm trying to beat the 5.
3854 for Mike and 3548 for me in the Suncoast Race 5 at Tampa Bay Downs on Saturday. Good luck if you're playing the races this weekend.